welcome. This is a 60-minute gentle flow class. My name is Melissa and we're here at Shangri-La Hot Yoga for your practice. For today's class, we are going to be focusing a little bit on twisting, a little bit on those outer hips as well. You know, we'll focus a little bit on strength, but also on flexibility, so we'll definitely stretch it out. But we will get the heart rate going just a little bit, but it's gentle flow. So we're not going to move too fast, we're not going to go too far. We're going to stay pretty close to the ground as well. If you need to, you can always spice it up a little bit, adding a little bit more of your own flavor. Or you can bring it down a level if you're feeling that way as well. If you would like props, you can have some blocks nearby if you like to use blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a water bottle or maybe some books. Or you can have a pillow nearby for supports. And making sure that when we're twisting, we're doing it from the core up. So keeping it out of the low back, keeping the navel nice and tight, all right? And we're gonna get started lying down on our back. So we're gonna come into a Shavasana, so lay all the way down. Try to take up some space. You can have the legs out long, or if it feels a little bit better on your low back, you can plant the feet at mat width apart and allow the knees to fall in together. So this is a nice support if you have low back problems, because it just helps you to connect the low back to the ground. And then open up the arms nice and wide. Take any last minute fidgets in the body before coming to complete stillness. And just settling into your body with the first few breaths. I'm gonna start with a full body scan. So just noticing how you're feeling, where every part of your body is at this morning. And we'll start at the toes. Make our way up towards the feet and the ankles, then up to the shins, the calves, and then going past the knee to the thigh, the quads and the hamstrings, and all the way up to the hips, the hip flexors, your outer hips, your glutes, and then up to your spine. Making your way all the way up to the spine, pausing at the core. And then going up to the chest, the shoulders. Taking your way down the arms to the fingers. And then coming back up to the neck. Passing through the neck, going to the face. Trying to let go of any muscles in your face. Can you unfurrow your brow and find a soft part to the lips? Can you become a little bit heavier into the ground? Releasing every single little muscle. And then finding a deep breath in here, filling up your belly and then your chest and pausing at the top. Open your mouth, clear all of that out. Good, nice audible exhales. Big breath in. Full breath out. Cleansing inhale. Let it go. Full breath. Exhale. Do that one more time, pausing at the top. Big breath in. Pause. One more little sip of air. Open up, let it out. Melt a little bit deeper into the ground. From here, come to your natural breath. Or maybe find your Ujjayi breath, closing the lips. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take a slight constriction to the back of your throat to cultivate that breath. Building just a little bit of heat in your body. Also helping you to build some focus and awareness. Start to wake up the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. And then finding your way to the wrists and the ankles. Taking movement to every single part of your body. If the legs are out long, place the feet on the mat, the feet out at hips width apart. We're just gonna do a little bit of core activation here. So allow the core to relax. So relaxing the belly, and maybe finding that you're getting a little arc in that low back. So just relaxing here for a second. Good, and then with the breath out, we're gonna pull the navel in nice and tight, engaging the core, and press the low back down towards the ground. So you're gonna feel the whole spine connect. And we're gonna do that breath to movement. So with an inhale, you're gonna fill up the belly. Exhale, you're gonna pull it in nice and tight. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, navel to spine. So that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breath in. Fill up. Breath out. Ribs in. Pausing here. Find that nice tight core. See if you can connect that low back a little bit tighter to the ground. It should feel really good on your spine. Just slight little work of our core here. Hold the navel in a little bit tighter. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a second. And then pull the knees in towards the chest. Wrap the arms around the legs. Maybe find some circles in one direction and then the other. Finding a little bit of movement. Finding a little massage on the sacrum. And then we'll meet with knees at center. Arms are going to tee out to the side, so reach them out nice and long. Take a breath in at center. And with the breath out, start to lower the knees over towards the right. We're going to go breath to movement. Inhale, knees come up to center. Exhale, knees over to the left. If you want a little bit more, you can always hover the knees for more core. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Working our obliques. Inhale, knees come up. This time, exhale, knees come over to the right, and pause here for a couple of breaths. Just finding a little supine twist. Reaching out through the left fingertips, rooting through the left shoulder. Maybe the gaze comes over that side as well. If the knees are hovering off the ground, that's more than okay. You can place a pillow or a block underneath or between for more support. Pull the navel in nice and tight. Finding that little bit of a deeper twist here. Just trying to open up our spine. Preparing ourselves for the rest of our practice. Breath in, knees will lift back up. Breath out, lower them over to the left this time. So same idea, knees come down, they don't have to be touching the ground, maybe finding some support with a prop. Reaching through the right arm this time, rooting through that shoulder. So more important for the shoulder to be down than the legs. Gaze can come over the shoulder, twisting a little bit deeper. Feeling the nice stretch in our spine, even here in our outer hip. And finding a couple of soft breaths. Inhale, knees come up. Squeeze them into your chest. Find a little bit of movement. And you choose here. You can either roll off to either side and then come to your seat. Or if you want to, you can rock back and forth a couple of times. And then we will all meet in our seat. And then from your seats, you'll come into your tabletop. So meeting our stable table, shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. Pull the navel in. Finding a nice flat back here. Grip the ground with the fingertips, press away, strengthen your shoulders. Inhale, lower the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine, press away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then take a couple more rounds of cat-cow here at your own pace. Maybe you pause in one or the other. Take a couple extra breaths. Maybe you wag the tail back and forth. Just kind of noticing how the spine feels. What kind of movements you need to take here. So kind of focusing rather on how you look, more so focusing on how you feel. One more round at your own pace. Good, inhale, meet back at your neutral spine, at your tabletop. Walk the hands just one palm print forward. Spreading the fingers out wide, tuck your toes. Full breath in. Breath out, slowly lift the hips up, coming to your first downward facing dog. And start to find a little bit of movement in this first down dog. So bending into one knee, then the other. Nodding the head, yes and no, or maybe anything else that might feel good to you here. And then we'll meet in some stillness when you're ready. Taking a generous bend in the knees. Spread those fingers out a little bit wider, pressing away from the ground with the hands. Spread the shoulders out nice and wide. And then pull the ribs in towards each other to engage your core. Remember, in our practice, we never have to have our legs completely straight. That applies here. That applies in our forward folds. That applies anywhere else in our practice as well. If you need to have that soft bend, I always welcome you to take it. With a breath in, shift forward to a high plank, but lower the knees down. So we're going to come to our supported plank here. And this is how we're going to take all of our chaturangas, is with our supported plank. If you need to spice it up, you're more than welcome to. Press away from the ground, strengthen your shoulders, pull the navel in. Inhale, shift slightly forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug them in, and slowly lower all the way down. We'll meet on our belly. Hug the shoulders in towards each other. Root through the tops of the feet, so much so the knees lift. Inhale, lift the chest up, baby cobra. A little baby back bend here. Hugging the elbows into the side body. Keep the gaze down to the ground. Full breath in. Breath out, lower. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, soften down. Do that one more time. Inhale, rise. Come to your own version. So maybe that baby may become a little bit higher depending on how your spine feels. Last breath in. Breath out. Come all the way back down. Root through the hands and the knees. Inhale. Come up to your tabletop. Tuck the toes. Exhale, lift up, downward facing dog. And that'll be our chaturanga there. So modify. Maybe you need to skip it. Take a cat-cow. Maybe you need to make it a little bit harder, finding your full chaturanga. Inhale, bend the knees, look towards the top of the mat. Exhale, slowly step the feet up, tip forward, fold. Walk the feet out to hips width apart. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Pause. Reach through the crown of the head. One long line here from tailbone to head. Roll the shoulders back in together. Full breath in. Breath out, slowly lower all the way down. Bend the knees to the belly, hits the thighs. Hands will capture opposite elbows. And then take your ragdoll, swaying back and forth. If you want another variation, you can always interlace hands behind the head, trying to find a little bit more length in your spine. You can always release the hands down to the ground or a block if that feels good as well.
The main purpose here is to release everything towards the ground. So keep that bend in your knees. Try to find the nice stretch in the backs of the legs and in the spine. It's really nice here to allow the spine to release because usually we have gravity pressing down, right? And that puts a lot of pressure on our spine. So here we're using gravity to help us lengthen the spine. Be back at center. Release the hands all the way down. Keeping the bend in your knees, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, slowly lift up to standing. Feel every single movement as you rise. Once you come up, shoulders roll back in together, palms forward in our strong mountain pose. Lift kneecaps up, engage your quads. Pull the ribs in, engage your core. And then press the fingertips down, open up the chest. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up high mountain. Exhale, right hand's gonna sweep back, left hand forward, coming into a twist. So reaching out through the fingertips. Notice that right hip is tempted to come back. Try to press the hip towards the front of the ribs. We want our hips kind of as neutral as possible. And then lengthen out through your fingertips. So reach out like you want to touch opposite sides of the room. Pull the navel in a little bit tighter. So when we're twisting, every breath out, we pull the navel in and we use that to twist through the mid and upper back. Inhale, reach the right hand back up. Exhale, left hand comes back. Right hand forward, finding our twist the other way. Left hip rolls towards the front of the room. Reach through those fingertips, open up. Nice stretch through the arms. Gaze can come back if that feels okay in your neck, if you want a little bit more. Pull the belly in nice and tight. Inhale, sweep the hand back up. Exhale, cactus arms, open the chest, little back bend. Squeeze those shoulders together. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold forward, little bend in the knees as you fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Palms come down. Inhale, step back to that supported plank. Pause right here, preparing for that first chaturanga. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug them in, lower all the way down. Inhale, chest comes up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, stable table. Exhale, downward dog. Then we're going to work that a little bit faster. So just want to get that heart rate going. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Reach up. Exhale, right hand comes back. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Find your way through at your own pace. Bend the elbows, lower all the way. Inhale, broaden the chest. Exhale, lower it down. Making your way to your downward facing dog. Do that one more time. Inhale, soften, look to the top. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, melt. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant the palms. Find your way through your flux. So step it back. Use that modified chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale,
Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath in. Clear it out. One more time, big inhale. Let it go. Soften the knees down. Find your child's pose just for a second. Toes touch, reach out. You come back to an ujjayi. You can find some more open mouth exhales. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look towards the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Pause right here. So we're just going to build on from here. You're going to start to bend through your knees as you sit the hips back. Inhale, reach up to that chair pose. We're going to work our thighs here. Weight is back into the heels, out of the toes. Maybe you can lift the toes and wiggle them a little bit. If hands up is uncomfortable, you can goal post, or you can have hands at heart center. So find which variation works for you. Pull the navel in, finding length in your low back. And then reach up a little bit more through the fingertips. Deep breath in. Breath out. Right hand is going to sweep back. We're going to come into a twist. So we've been here before when we were standing, but now we're adding in that chair pose. Make sure that the knees are nice and even with each other. Reach up through the fingertips and then sink down. Inhale, hand comes up. Exhale, left hand comes back. Reaching out, pulling the ribs in, twisting from the mid and upper back. Inhale, hand comes to center. Exhale, fold forward. Get some release in your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant the palms, step it back, and flow. Inhale, open up. Exhale, soften down. Good, find your way back to your downward facing dog. Building on from here. Inhale, right leg reaches up high, three-leg dog. Pause for a second. Roll the pinky toe so it faces down. Flex the foot, press the heel back. Full breath in. Breath out, pull the knee forward and round the spine as you look between the hands and gently step that foot forward. If you need to, wiggle, walk it up. Lower the back knee down. You can untuck those back toes here. Make sure you have a block nearby just in case. Pull the right hip back into the sockets. Find some stability here, making sure that knee is not tracking in front of the ankle. Inhale, rise up, come to your low crescent. If you need support, you can always keep hands onto the leg. But if it feels good, reach up towards the ceiling. Fingers come in towards each other. Reach up, find length, but settle into that front thigh. Pulling the navel towards the spine. Making sure you're continuing to pull that right hip back. Settle into the hips a little bit more. Deep breath in, reach high. With a breath out, take the left hand and sweep it back, coming into our open twist. Reaching through the hands. Making sure the torso stays stacked above the hips, don't lean forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, right hand comes back. Pull the hip back. Pull the belly in nice and tight. Inhale to low crescent. Exhale, frame the foot. Grab the blocks if you need them here, frame the foot. Inhale, lengthen out that front leg. Come into your half splits. So we're going to stretch out through the back side of the leg. Option to come into a little outer hip stretch by walking the hands to the outside of that right leg. Taking the block with you. Pulling that right hip into the socket. Flexing the toes towards the shin. And remember, you can keep a soft bend in the knee here. It does not have to be completely straight. Find length in the spine by rolling the shoulders back and then reaching through the crown of the head. Find your breath. If you watch yourself Start to bend back into the knee. Come back to that low lunge. Block is going to come underneath the left hand, a little bit in front of the shoulder. Inhale, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Find a low lunge twist. Hug the right hip back. Press away from the ground. So we're going to strengthen this arm by pressing away, rolling the shoulder back. I'm going to reach up towards the ceiling. One more inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. From here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, or you can keep it lowered as well. So you choose here, but we're going to step the right foot back to meet the left. So you come into your full plank, your supported plank, shift it forward. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Now we're just going to work that on our second side. Inhale, left leg reaches high, flex. Toes roll down. Press through the heel to find a little bit of length. Full breath in. Breath out, hug the knee in. Find that nice rounding to create some space before you step that foot forward. Walk it up, and then lower the back knee down. Back toes can untuck if that feels good. Make sure that the knee is behind or right above the ankle. Hug the left hip into the socket. Inhale, rise up, low crest. Remember, you can have hands on the thigh if you need that support as well. Lifting away from the hips, reaching up through the crown of the head. We want to find engagement through the arms by spiraling the pinky fingers in. Come a little bit deeper into that nice hip stretch here, pressing into that front thigh. Big breath in, reach up. Breath out, right hand is going to come back. Left hand forward, open twist. Notice that this hip is tempted to open up. Try to pull it forward, keeping that nice stability here in our hips. Inhale up to low crescent. Exhale, left hand comes back. Pulling the ribs towards each other. Nice long line in the spine. Reach through the fingers. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, frame the foot. Grab the blocks if needed. Inhale, lengthen out, half splits. You can stay at center, rolling the toes towards the shin no matter where you are. Or if you want to get a little bit more into the outer hip, walk the hands to the outside. Using that block. Pull the left hip in towards the socket. Keep a bend in your knee here if you need to. Shoulders roll back. Chin is towards the chest, but not touching the chest. Nice long spine here, so we're not rounding in. We're keeping that length. Few breaths to settle in to find that stretch. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back to center, bend back into that knee. This time, right hand is going to come to block. Press away from the ground. Inhale, left hand reaches towards the ceiling, finding that low lunge twist. Slight little squeeze in the glutes. Press away from the ground, strengthen the right shoulder, and then reach up like you want to touch the ceiling with the fingertips. Last breath in. Breath out, frame the foot. Inhale, knee comes back, supported plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, broaden the chest. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press away. Exhale, hips back, down dog. Full breath in. Let it out. So we're going to come to our breath to movement. So that's going to be a little bit quicker, right? We use that to get our heart rate moving. So go at your own pace if you need to. Remember, this is your practice. If you ever need to skip anything, please do so. Skip that chaturanga if it doesn't feel good, all right? So we'll meet in our downward facing dog and just listen carefully here. Inhale, bend the knees, look towards the top. Exhale, walk the feet up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, hips come back. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, center. Exhale.
Inhale, halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Find your version of your flow. Go through modified with me. Maybe skip it. Meet us in down dog. And that's where we'll all meet. Inhale, right heel high. Exhale, step forward. Knee comes down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left hand back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, right hand. Inhale, center. Exhale, frame the foot. Inhale, lengthen out, half splits. Exhale, bend back in, low lunge. Left hand down, inhale, right hand up. Exhale, frame the foot. Inhale, come back, high plank. Exhale, find your flow. We'll meet in our down dog. One more side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, gentle step. Knee softens. Inhale, low crescent. Exhale, right hand opens up. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, half splits. Exhale, low lunge. Right hand to block. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Meet in down dog. Fullest breath in. Side out. One more time. Big inhale. Let it go. Knees come down, knees out wide. Big toes touch. And press it back to child's pose. So just a couple breaths here in our child's pose. Just to slow it down a little bit. If you want to come into a side body stretch, walk the hands over towards the right. Pressing the left hip back toward the left heel. Reaching through the fingertips, allowing the forehead to soften down. Take more open mouth exhales if that feels good. Come through center. And then over towards the left if you're taking that side body stretch. Optional, so if you don't feel it, don't do it. This time, make sure that right hip is pressing towards the heel. You should be stretching all the way through the right side of the body, maybe even into the outer hip. Come back to center. Settle to your child's pose one final time. Lengthen out the spine. The breath in, come up to tabletop. And then tuck the toes and lift the hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the feet out nice and wide. And then grab a block or water bottles. Remember, if you don't have a block, water bottles work great as well. Because you have a nice tall one like this. So with the feet out nice and wide, you're going to start by bending into the right knee. So bend generously into that knee. Place the right hand onto the block or the water bottle. Take the left hand to the hip to begin. Take a breath in to prepare. With a breath out, press away from the block or the water bottle and twist over toward the left side of the room. Keep the bend in the knee. Open up, nice little hip stretch. Also a nice stretch for our spine. The hand can stay on the hip if it feels good. You can try to reach up towards the ceiling. So it just depends on your body here. Make sure that you're pressing away. You're rolling the right shoulder back. Full breath in. Switching sides, nice big bend in the left knee. Left hand plants down, right hand to hip. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, press away to twist over towards the right. So you're using that leverage of the hand into the block to come a little bit deeper into that twist, right? We're also using our core, so pulling the belly in nice and tight. Gaze stays down on the ground unless it feels okay to look up. Roll the right shoulder back. Hug the shoulders together. Last breath in. Breath out, come back to center. Good at center, keep those feet out nice and wide. Bend the knees till the belly hits the thighs, and then take the peacemaking fingers and wrap them around the big toes. If you are wanting more, bend with the elbows and start to pull the crown of the head towards the ground. Finding length in your spine. Nice little counter stretch to twisting. Every breath out, maybe coming a little bit deeper into that stretch. And release the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, working a little bit of balance. We can't forget our balance, right? Gotta have our nice well-rounded practice. We're gonna start by rooting down through our left foot. So you're gonna spread the toes out nice and wide. You can keep a soft bend in your knee. Hands at heart center. Right knee is gonna lift up to hip height, coming to that one leg mountain pose. Flex the foot so that the toes are curling towards the shin. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then from here, you can stay if you feel good here. Keep the gaze to the ground for support. If you want to come further, you're going to take the right hand to the hip and just start slowly, and the left hand to the outside of the leg, and then slowly come into a twist. So we're twisting over towards that right leg. It's going to add a little bit of a balance challenge, adding our twist in. You're using the hand on the leg to leverage yourself a little bit deeper. If you feel nice and stable, you can take the right hand and reach it back for a little bit more. Making sure you're keeping that right knee up at hip height. So one long line from hip to knee. Roll the right hip back. Lift up through the crown of the head. Pull the navel in. Twist a little bit deeper. One more breath. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And then set that foot down. Take a second to shake it out. Do one more balance on that side. So the hands at heart center. You're going to place all the way into the left foot. Keep that bend. From here, you're going to start to lift that right foot up and slowly chest comes forward, legs come back, leg comes back, coming into our warrior three. Hands at heart, press them together, roll the shoulders back, flex the right foot, roll the pinky toe down. So we're using that left hip to find stability here. Pull the left hip back. Keep the chest in a little, kind of like a cobra pose. So imagine keeping that nice openness through the chest. Just a couple more breaths. Keep the soft bend in the left knee if you need that support. Gaze at the ground. Inhale, rise up. Shake it out. All right, second side for that balance. Root down through the right foot this time. Spread the toes out. Hands at heart. Left knee up, one leg mountain pose. We're going to find our stability before we move on. Gaze at the ground if you're feeling wobbly. Flex the toes towards the shin. If you're feeling ready for more, take the left hand to the left hip. Right hand comes to the outside of the thigh. And then start to twist over towards that left leg. Remember, we're leveraging the leg to pull ourselves a little bit deeper into that twist. Gaze at the ground or lift it up. Maybe if you want that little bit of challenge, you're reaching that left arm back. Maybe the gaze comes with it. Press away from the ground with that right foot. Lift up through the crown of the head. One more breath. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, step it down, shake it out. All right, hands back at heart. Weight back into that right foot. One more balance on this side. Place it all the way to that right foot until the left foot gets light. And then slowly start to
talk the chest forward and the foot back. Coming to your warrior three. So leg does not have to be all the way up here, right? You can be down here if that feels better for you. You can even keep the toes down for support. That feels best. Roll the shoulders back. Find that cobra pose in the chest. Finding that stability in that right hip. So we're not sinking into the hip, we're rolling it up and back. Flex the left foot. Press that left heel back. Keep the breath here for stability. Last two. Final breath. Inhale, rise up. Take a second, shake it out. You're probably feeling this a little bit in the outer hip. Really strengthening our outer hips there with our balancing postures. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms. Inhale, step back. You can flow through a chaturanga if you're feeling it. If not, just meet in downward facing dog. All right, one more little bit before we bring it down to stretch. Inhale, right leg reaches high. Exhale, step that foot forward. Back knee lowers. All right, so this is gonna be kind of like our peak posture of our practice. So we've been working towards this pose, and I'm gonna give you a lot of options here, depending on how you're feeling. Making sure that knee is above the ankle. Inhale, reach up. This time our hands are gonna come to heart center. So we've been here before, but now our hands are our hearts. We're ready for a deeper twist, right? Like I said, I'm gonna give you options. So take a breath in to repair. And with a breath out, you're gonna pull the navel and you're gonna start to twist over towards that right leg. So keeping the hands at heart, keeping the spine lifted. This is option one. If this is your limit, stay here. If you want a little bit more, take the left elbow and you can hook it onto the outside of the right thigh. So this is option two. Press the hands into each other. Find that leverage to twist a little bit deeper. Hug the right hip into the socket for support. There's always the option to move a little bit further. So if you want more strength, you can tuck the back toes and you can lift the back knee. That's going to be a little more advanced. So find your variation, whether that's lifted here, whether that's hooking on the leg, whether that's lifting that back knee. Keeping the gaze at the ground. If you want that challenge, lifting it up. Pull the navel and use the core to twist. We're here for 3. Challenge yourself for 2. Last breath in. And with your breath out, hands come down to the ground, front of the foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and we're just going to step back to down dog. So skipping our chaturanga here, come back to down dog and shake it out. Second side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, controlled step through. Back knee lowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to hearts. Slight little squeeze in the glute. We want to make sure that we're supporting our hips. This is going to be a little bit on your hips, right? And you're going to feel this in that outer hip on the left side. Full breath in, find light. Breath out, belly in, start to twist. Stay here with the spine lifted. Or find your next variation, taking the right elbow and hooking it onto the thigh. Pressing the palms together. Trying to find that nice deep twist here. We've been preparing their whole practice for this posture. If you're looking for even more here, remember you can tuck the back toes and lift the knee. See if you can lift those left toes up and wiggle them a little bit, making sure you're not gripping. Pull the left hip back into the socket. Keeping the core tight, ribs knit in towards each other. Roll the shoulders back in together. 3 more. Last 2. Big breath in. Breath out, hands come down. Make your way to downward facing dog, however you need to. Shake it out, let it go. And then soften the knees all the way down to the mat. Hips come off to either side, and legs come long. You take a second if you need to. Drink some water, anything else that feels good for you here. That pose is a little bit intense because it is a deep stretch for our twists and our hips. So that's why I give you the option to stay lifted, right? So it makes it a little bit easier, not going quite so deep as hooking that elbow, and that's always an option in that posture when you see it in any class. So now that we've done a bit of strengthening, we're gonna work on stretching out what we've been doing, all right? So you're gonna take the right leg, you're gonna keep it about parallel with the top of the mat. You're gonna take the left knee, and it's gonna come out of that right foot. So, right shin about parallel with the top of the mat. Left knee is going to come out of that foot, leg is going to come back. If you need to, grab a block or a pillow, place it over near that right hip. Take a breath in and lift up through the crown of the head. And with a breath out, we're going to start to twist over towards that right hip. So you can stay right here. If you want to try to come deeper, start to walk yourself forward, laying down into your deer pose. You can use the block here by placing the forearms onto the block to bring the ground a little bit closer. You should feel this nice twist and this nice little stretch into the outer hip here. So find a variation where you can hold, using the props as needed. Staying up on the palms if that feels better. Shoulders come back and together. Reach through the crown of the head. Soften into the posture. We're done with our activity, so letting yourself feel this nice stretch as we start to slow things down. If you went further, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Bring the spine back to center. Plant the feet onto the mat width apart, and just windshield wiper back and forth. Just trying to find a little bit of release to those hips. And we'll switch sides. So come to center, left leg is about parallel with the front of the mat. Right knee comes out of that foot. Make sure that block or pillow is next to your left hip. Lift up, lengthen, breath in. Breath out, start to twist over towards the hip. Stay here or start to walk yourself down using the prop if you need something under your arms. That's what the blocks are good for, right? They bring the ground closer to us. When the ground feels really far away, if that's too deep of a posture for you, that's where we use our blocks. They come in handy a lot in our practice. And in these gentle flows that I teach, I always show you lots of ways to use the blocks. Reach through the crown of the head, keep lengthening your spine. And then soften into the pose for a few breaths. If you went further down, walk back up. Come to center, feet come down, windshield wiper back and forth. And then come back into center. And we're gonna do like a deep outer hip stretch, couple of options, right? Use a block or a pillow here to close space. So you can keep that left leg outlined nice and long and take the right foot onto the left thigh. So this is going to be option one. This is our little half fire log. If you're ready for that full one, you're going to bend through the bottom knee and then take the right foot on top of the left knee and the right knee on top of the left foot. So you notice here I have a lot of space, and I'll turn towards you so you can probably see a little bit better. I have a lot of space, and that's okay. It's okay to have a lot of space. I'm pretty tight in my outer hips because I do yoga a lot, I'm doing a lot of balancing postures, and that's gonna tighten your outer hips because it's helping you to find stability. So you might have that big space. That's where, pillow or block can come in handy. You can just wiggle it there, close that space. Remember, if it feels better, keep that bottom leg straight. If your hips are super tight and this seems really inaccessible, making sure that this foot is out a little bit, right? So you don't want to have a little crease in your ankle. If you're keeping it here, you might find that little crease in the ankle, strengthening the ankle, right? We always want to protect our joints because, it's really easy to injure our joints, and our joints are super important. So keeping that strength is good. You can stay lifted here if it feels good. You can fold forward. You can always have hands behind you and just use that as a little bit of leverage. I welcome you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths because this is going to feel intense. Use the breath to fight through that feeling of maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable. When we're in deep stretches, we tend to feel a little bit uncomfortable because we're pushing ourselves, as long as you're not feeling any pain, right? Because pain is where you need to come out of pose and find a different variation. But, uncomfortable just means that you're stretching. So you're stretching that muscle, you're giving it a little bit of love. Whenever you're ready, you can come out of that posture and just take some movements. Maybe lengthen out the legs, shake it out, let it go. And then other side. So right leg can be out long, left foot can come to the thigh here. So option 1. If you want that deeper stretch, bend through the right knee, and then take the left foot on top of the knee, and the knee on top of the foot. Remember, we're not going to be in here. Right, because we're not really going to be feeling any stretch when we're in here. We want to make sure that we walk that foot all the way up onto the thigh. Grab the block if you need that support. And you also might notice that you have one hip that cooperates a lot more than the other one. And we all tend to have that one side that likes to go a little bit deeper than the other. But making sure that you modify for the side that's a little bit tighter. So you're not trying to push that side to be equal to the other. It's okay to be a little bit different from your right to your left. Making sure that you're accepting that in your body, you're being patient with yourself. I welcome you to close your eyes. Try to find those big breaths. I know I feel a very deep stretch here. When you're ready to come out, gently wiggle that foot off of the leg and find those movements that you need just to shake it all out. And then we're going to prepare to recline all the way down onto our mat. So lengthen the legs out, reach the arms forward, deep breath in. And just a little count of 5, we'll slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Take a big full body stretch. Lengthen out the spine. So reach the arms nice and long above you. Point the toes. Lengthen out a little bit more. And then knees come in towards the chest. Pull them in. Take some movements. Maybe a happy baby if that feels good. Grabbing the shins, the ankles, or the feet. Remember, you never have to grab your feet, especially if that means that your low back is lifting off the ground.
And then rock back and forth, find that playful baby. And then come to center. Knees come in. Tee the arms out to the sides. And lower the knees over towards the right. Supine twist. Second time here. The first time was almost our very first posture of our practice. So how have you changed in these last 60 minutes? How does your body feel different? Not looking on that negatively, right? So we're just kind of seeing the differences, we're accepting them. As we start to slow down the breath, the heart rate, and the mind. Knees come to center for a moment, neutralize the spine. And then lower them over towards the left. Gaze comes over the right. Close your eyes here, keep them closed until the end of your practice, if that feels good. Back to center one final time. Squeeze the knees into the chest, curl into a tight little ball. Nose goes up to the knees. Take a deep breath and pause at the top. One more little sip of air. Exhale, open everything up, release your Shavasana. Take up space. Give yourself permission to be here in this final rest, to enjoy the relaxation, to let go of anything from outside of your room for your practice. And just enjoy. And I'll call you back when it's time. Slowly allow your awareness to return to your body. Notice if you benefit from a few more moments in your Shavasana. If you're ready to reawaken by movement, soft little movement. Reach the arms long above you. Pull the knees to the chest, roll onto either side for a fetal position. And then gently press yourself up and come to a comfortable seat to end the practice. Hands at heart, eyes
eyes closed or gaze soft. Release all the air out of your lungs. Find your fullest breath in. Clear it all out. And take a moment for gratitude to yourself for taking time out of your day for your practice, for taking time to show up on your mat, and most importantly, for taking a little bit of time for you. I'm grateful that you all came to join me in your practice, whether it's live or later on Facebook or YouTube. From my heart to each and every one of yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in that fun twisting practice. If you have any feedback, please leave a comment on the post about whether you liked it or maybe something that you want to see next week, maybe something that you want to work on. If you liked it and you're able to donate, please do so. The links are on our Facebook and our website to Venmo and MindBody. And I really hope to see you all in the studio, hopefully sometime in the near future. Of course, we'll let you know as soon as we have a clear date for reopening. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.